ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Okay. So last time we are seeing, we did that verse 28, saying different activities of worship. Basically, more than the worship, what's important is having a worshipful attitude. Having an attitude that everything is sacred, everything is this, so that I can be a better karma yogi. This is the whole idea. So for that, a worshipful attitude is necessary. Okay? A prayerful attitude. It is not the actual thing that you do, the ritual that you do. That there are various types. There are very structured rituals for various things. Like any Navratri, you go to Shankar Matam, you will find 9 days, morning and evening, various homas for various things. People come, depending upon what they want out of it, and they participate in the homas. Those are very structured, meant for gaining certain things. Okay. They are called Kamya Karma. Actually, out of your Kama it comes. You want wealth, you want a child, you want your child to get married. All these are various things you have. Then you have something known as Nitya Karma, what you do on a regular basis. Your regular prayers, etc. That is more meant to have a prayerful attitude. Okay. Structured Sandhyavandanam ityadi. Okay. Sandhyavandanam, Samidadanam, Agnihotra. These are all Nitya Karmas. Structured. Or your general prayer, Pauranic, that you do at home. That's also fine. Okay. Then you have special karmas, known as Prayaschitta Karmas. You have done some wrong. Let us say this lifetime. Next lifetime, if you have wronged somebody, you go, apologize, make it up. That's called Prayaschitta. Person is dead and gone. What do? There's a religious thing available for that. Or there is some dosha following from a previous lifetime. You have done something wrong in a previous lifetime, and that is hampering you today. So for that there are structured Prayaschitta Karmas. Okay. So those are the various types of karmas you have. Here what is pointing out is to prepare your mind. Okay. So in other words, looking at anything and everything you do as something divine, as an offering to the Lord. So some you will feel more, some you will feel less. Okay. Because what is important is a bhakti. Bhakti that is applicable in day-to-day life. There is no point feeling all the devotion in your puja room and when you come out you feel nothing. That puja room is meant to cultivate that attitude of bhakti so that you can extend it into your day-to-day life. No better day than today to acknowledge that. Hanumanji, for him bhakti was what? Seva. Simple as that. Yeah. The original samurai, I exist to serve. He could have ruled. Okay, Kishkinda. He would have made a far better ruler than all of those guys. But he chose to serve. Yeah. So, yeah. He chose to be a messenger. Excelling his brief. It's not a question of meeting targets, it's a question of going beyond that. What was he told? Find Sita and come back. Get us information about Sita. So he goes, finds. Alright, I found Sita. Now what? Amma, come, I'll take you back myself. Come on my back. I will cross the sea in one jump. But Sita knows that's not the way it's to be done. The headquarters of the Ravana has to be destroyed. No? That won't happen. So he says, no, get Rama here. Okay. In a couple of months he'll be here. So he boosts up Sita's morale. And as a warrior, he knows the value of fear. A warrior should be able to handle his own fear without problems. It's very important. And should know how to strike fear in the opponent. He did that very effectively. Burned down half of Lanka. Studied all the defenses, the strengths, the vulnerabilities of Lanka, and comes back. Find Sita? Much more than that. Yeah. So, that is the attitude. So, Bhakti expresses itself in various ways. For some it may be bhajan singing, that's great, fine. If that makes you feel great, do that. For someone it may be something else. What works for you, works for you. For some it may be a temple. For some it may be the mountains. For others it may be the vast expanse of the ocean. Oneness with everything. The ocean has that effect on you. Not if you're sitting on the beach and watching the ocean. You go right out in the middle. When you don't see land anywhere around. Then. Because for someone it may be up in the skies. Yeah. Or in outer space. It doesn't matter where you feel it, and be able to extend into your day-to-day life, into your marketplace. Therefore, he says, he goes ahead pointing out different things. Okay. So, Dravya Yajna, etc. we saw last time, 28th verse. Then he's going to the 29th. Apane jukhati pranam, prane apanam tata pare, pranapana gatir rudva, pranayama parayana. These are meant for the pranayama parayana. Yogis. Okay. Energy work, Qigong experts, all of them. Okay. Why? If you are Qigong or energy work or doing pranayama as energy work, calls for a lot of commitment. It's a committed pursuit. We don't take it merely as energy. When you are energy, what are you doing? You are connecting up with the cosmic prana. Internal prana, cosmic prana. The whole connection is made. So you connect it to the divine. Okay, to Ishvara's prana you are connected. That's what pranayama is about. Okay, it is not just breathing exercises. That's something different. Okay, yeah. So in that he says, apane juhuti pranam. In the apana, breathing exhalation, you are offering the prana. And prane apanam juhuti. In the prana you are offering the apana. How is that possible? Simple. Prana gatihi rudva. By holding the breath in between prana and apana. The kumbhaka that you call it. Because that kumbhaka is the important point. Why? That's the state of pure potentiality. And what is pure potentiality is Ishvara. Because Ishvara is a total potentiality, isn't it? Everything manifestation. So it is in the kumbhaka that the energy is manifest highest. So, prana. This is another way of worship. See, your pranayama becomes worship. If you are doing it as yoga or qigong, not as breathing exercises. Okay. The whole attitude matters. Whole attitude matters. Yeah. Okay, then what? Apare niyatahara प्राणान प्राणेश जुह्वति सर्वेपि एते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षिप्तकल्मषाः अपरे नियत ahara, others with niyata aharam, with limited eating, etc. Pranan praneshu juhvati. They are offering the prana to the prana. How do you offer the prana to the prana? The digestive fire, prana, is also prana. Therefore, the digestive fire. When does fire say enough? When does fire say enough? Fire can keep on burning. Now you put more fuel into the fire, it will keep burning, keep burning, keep burning. Therefore, you are offering the fire to the fire, meaning what? The desire to have more is offered to the fire. The prana, the thing to have more and more, offered to the prana. In other words, pratyahara. Pratyahara with respect to food. Yeah. That's another way. Yeah. I feel like eating more. Yeah. That's why fasting becomes a form of worship. You can diet or you can fast. You can do two things. Yeah. Once in 2 weeks you can fast. You can diet. Once in 2 weeks I will not eat anything. Or you can say every Ekadashi I will fast. What's the difference? You are not eating anyway. The difference is your attitude. One is a religious thing, the other is just health oriented. Nothing wrong in being only health oriented. But why not enhance it and make the whole thing spiritual? So that is the whole idea. Okay. Therefore, sarvyepi ete yajna vidaha. All these are various forms of yajnas, he says. Okay. For what? Yajna kshiptita kalmashaha. In these yajnas, your kalmashaha, this attitude of a worship negates all your kalmashas. Kalmashas is all the impurities that are there, all the problems that are there, the ragadvesha that is there, all that is negated. Yeah. Because you are getting a sense of mastery, you are divinizing your whole life. Okay, simple. Okay, then he is making a very, very good comment here. See, these are all simple. If there are any questions, ask, okay? If any of you have a doubt or something like that, ask. I am going a little bit fast on this because for me it looks simple. But any doubt anywhere, please don't hesitate to stop and ask, okay? Especially those of you who are into yoga, because the last 2 verses we are dealing with that. No issues, okay? Then he says, Yajnashishta amrta bujaha yanti brahma sanatanam Nayam loki api ayajnasya kuto anyaha kurusattamaha. Hey kurusattamaha. Okay. Hey, best among the Kurus. Hey, Arjuna was Pandava, not Kuru. The house was Kurus. In Kurus, the cadet of Kurus, they had a division between Kauravas and Pandavas. But the dynasty was Kuru dynasty. Okay. So, best among the Kurus, Kurusattamaha, Yajna Shishta Amrita Bujaha. What is Yajna Shishtam? After the Yajna, what do you get? Prasad or kya? What else you get? Amrita Bujaha. That is Amritam, he says. Treated as Amritam, Amrita Bujaha. Okay. Yajna Shishta Amrita Bujaha. Yanti Brahma Sanatanam. Sanatanam Brahma Yanti. They reach absolute Brahman in time because they get their mind ready and then they get exposed to the knowledge and the knowledge takes you to Brahman. So it is not direct cause. It is a secondary sadhana. It is helping you to be there. Helping you to be there. Okay. Don't take rituals or worship as the primary sadhana for moksha. Okay. It is the secondary sadhana only. It cannot be the primary sadhana. Okay? It can only be the secondary sadhana. Primary sadhana is jnanam, knowledge. But the knowledge has to take place in a mind which is ready. Therefore, whatever is necessary to get your mind ready is taken as secondary sadhana. Okay? Therefore, Brahma Sanathanam Yanti. Okay. Right. And he says, Nayam Lokaha Asti Ayajnasya. Ayajnasya, one who is not willing to make in the appropriate effort. Ayam Lokaha Nasti. What are you going to gain in this world? I know everything. Okay. What are you doing? Nothing. What are you going to gain? Nothing. Life rewards action. Anything you want to do, get in life, you have to do something about it. No? Yeah. By not doing, nothing is going to be gained. Yeah. You have to do a lot. Yeah. No, Swamiji, I have seen people achieving things effortlessly. सब बात है. Have you seen a swan gliding down the river? So effortless. What you don't see is the feet paddling in the water. So what seems effortless also has a lot of effort behind it. Okay. I'm sure in 2 years' time when the ashram comes up, everyone will see, "Arey yaar, itna jaldi ho gaya, as if effortless." We were struggling for it. Know how much effort is there? Yeah. Yeah. After that we can also say, आराम से हो गया ऐसा. Ishvara Kripa, it all happened. Yeah. True also. Ishvara Kripa only makes it happen. But what about your effort? Yeah. Therefore, ayam lokaha nasti ayajnasya. If you don't put in appropriate effort, this loka you won't achieve anything. Then what? And then he says, kutaha anyaha. How about other lokas? Other lokas in terms of dimensions or other in terms of Brahmajnanam, etc. Brahmajnanam also requires effort. Not karma in terms of rituals, etc. Learning. Getting your mind ready. In fact, learning is simple. Why? You just have to listen. The teacher does all the job. Of explaining of this and all that thing. Yeah. But getting your mind ready, the teacher can only give you the tools. You have to get it ready. No? Yeah. It's like going to the gym and you have a trainer. He gives you a pair of dumbbells in the hand. Chalo, 10 reps. After 2 reps, you say, I can't. He lightens the weight. Until it is only 5 pounds, I still can't. You know, when we take martial arts classes in South Bombay, sometimes we get kids like that, you know. I can't do a push-up. Then you have to teach them martial arts style. Couple of whacks, all the push-ups, all 10 push-ups, 20 push-ups also happen. You don't have to whack. You only have to whack the bag and tell them, this is what will happen to you if you don't do it. In martial art that can be done. Either क्या बोलेगा? Ishvara Arpanam Prasada Buddhi. Understand it. What happens in life? Ishvara Arpanam किधर? Ishvara किधर है खुद आ जाते हैं. Doesn't work like that. Okay, the tools of the job can be given. Like look at how many varieties of stuff he has mentioned here. Take any. Okay. More you can add if you want. So, nasti. Na ayam lokaha asti ayajnasya kuta anya prasati. Then he sums up that by saying, evam bahuvida yajna vitata brahmana mukhe karmajan vidditan sarvan evam nyatva vimokshase. Evam bahuvida yajna. In this manner, there are a lot of worship. Lot of yajnas, worshipful activities, vidita brahmano mukhe, that you understand from the Veda and other granthas. Everything is spread. Okay, yeah. It's all both hai. Yeah. Karma, upasana, this, that, hundreds are there, thousands are there. Karmajan vidditan sarvan. But understand, all of them are karmajan. Therefore, not meant for moksha, meant for getting your mind ready. This has to be clear because karma has a way of involving you. Many of you may have joined that Ekadashi Gita chanting. It's only once a month or twice a month.
Once a month, Swamiji.
Once a month, no? Yeah. No, I will do it twice a month. I think I should do once a week. Or thoda kuch karega every day. One chapter every day. Many of you have felt like that or not felt like that? Adhikasya adhikam phalam, it sort of draws you. Karma is like that. You thought 2 days a week I'll go to the gym. Even secular action is that. 2 days a week. But you start enjoying it after that, the sense of fitness, etc. that you have. Then, no, 2 days. I'll make it 3 days. Then you end up by living in the gym 6 days a week. Any action is like that. It has a way of involving you. You start going for a morning walk, half an hour. Then half an hour became 45 minutes, became 1 hour. From 3 days a week, it became 7 days a week. And now you don't feel nice if you don't go one day. You started by doing worship. Then it became more elaborate. And now, if one day you can't do it, you feel guilty. And your priest will make you feel guilty also. No, if you can't do it, get somebody to do it for you. Why is he saying that? Karmajan, because this issue is there. See, on one side, it is necessary to get into something like this. On the other side, recognize that this is meant for a finite purpose. It is meant to make your mind grow. It is not meant to condition your mind. Karmajan vidhi tan sarvan. It's a big issue that comes up. It becomes such a conditioning. You can't afford to let it be a conditioning. Yeah, some conditionings are good. You exercise regularly, you worship regularly, it's good in that sense. But not meant to make you feel guilty, this, that, etc. Karmajan vidhi. And don't think you're going to gain moksha with that. मेरे गुरु ने बोला ये करना है करके मैं करता हूँ. काम करते रहो, नाम जपते रहो, दया आएगा उनको कभी ना कभी, दास पावेगा दर्शन कभी ना कभी. सुना है ना ये सब? काम करते रहो, नाम जपते रहो. Lord will feel sorry for you and give you darshan. ठीक है बाबा, दर्शन मिला, फिर क्या हो गया? Oh, wonderful. After that what? I'm still the same idiot at the end of it. No? I feel blessed. I'm a blessed idiot. Okay. But I don't know. I'm still feeling finite. Previously, for want of darshan, I was feeling miserable. Now, after the darshan, I'm still feeling sorrowful. That's tragic, no? Isn't that tragic? You're a bhakta. So, for want of a darshan, you felt sorry, understandable. Now you got the darshan. What has changed in your life? And the Lord knows. He asked you, what do you want, beta? Swamiji, your darshan is enough for me, nothing else I need. Okay, tatastha. Disappear. I mean, he's not going to hang around. Yeah. Then what? For 3 days, you'll be great. After that, you talk to some people believe you, some people say, क्या bluff मार रहा है यार, तेरे को दर्शन मिलेगा क्या? Such a champion like you will get darshan, come on. Oh Lord, they are not even believing me. New problem started. You you still have to recognize that the Lord that you worship and you are one and the same. There's only one consciousness. Therefore he says, okay, Jnatva tan sarvaneva Jnatva vimokshase. After having known the truth, you will gain your freedom. Freedom from samsara happens only when you know the truth. All the karma, rituals, etc. are meant for you to prepare your mind. And preparing your mind is a finite thing. Because it's a finite thing, it can be done 100 different ways. Some of the ways he has shown here. You tell me anything you like. By now, you all should be able to turn it into an act of worship. If you can't, sit down and talk with me. I'll show you how to do it. Anything in life. Like one man, he's someone I look up to, In my younger days, the guy was heroic for me. He's an inspiration. So now he's old, 90 plus. He knows it's time for him to go soon. And he's happy to go. Saying there's one thing I used to do, which I don't know is right or wrong. I used to gamble a lot. So I laughed. I said, naturally. Why? You're gambling with money, you're gambled with your life for the sake of the nation. So what's the big deal about gambling? Krishna says, I am in the 11th chapter, I am the gambling among the gamblers. Why? Risk-taking ability. So Kshatriyas were encouraged to gamble a bit. Why? Your ability to take risks. Yeah, you need to do that. Business people have it, the ability to take risks. Kshatriyas, unless you are exposed to battle, it doesn't happen. And that is a problem of peace. There is a problem of peace. I know someone. He is retiring from the Navy in September or something as a Rear Admiral. It's a very high rank. Rear Admiral. Yeah. Vice Admiral, Admiral, that's it. Yeah. From Commodore onwards, it's Admiral ranking. So you are reached among the top 3. So I'm very happy for him. I know him well. I'm very happy. At the same time, I feel a bit sorry for him. Why? Never been tested in battle. All his life, he is prepared for battle, but never been tested in battle. You feel sorry for them. I mean, I'm very happy the country never had to get into a full-fledged war after 71, where all the 3 limbs had to be used, Air Force, Army, Navy, all of them, because that's a major war then. I'm very happy that the country didn't have to go into that. But I also feel sorry for the professional. He's never got a chance to be tested in war. All his life. And you notice the difference between a person who has been tested in war and someone who is not. That difference is so evident, so evident. When I see Commodore, some of you knew him. And when you see an admiral or a vice admiral who has not been tested, the difference is so evident. You can see that. A different level altogether. But all that is still here. So there are various ways of preparing your mind, of getting there. So even an activity like gambling, I took off from there. Can be converted into an act of worship. But that doesn't mean, Swamiji has said, gambling is an act of worship, so tomorrow onwards I'm going to start gambling. That's not what I'm saying, okay? I'm saying even an activity like that can be converted. Yeah, Karthik, you have a question.
So, Swamiji, when we say an act of worship, is it sufficient to recognize that this is possible because of Ishvara? Is that sufficient?
That is starting point. And then Ishvara Arpanam Prasada Buddhi.
Okay.
Yeah. That Ishwararpanam Prasada Buddhi. See, what is the problem? See, the gambling, the positive side is risk-taking ability. What is the flip side of it? Flip side of it is you will remember only your winnings, not your losses. The one time you made lots of money, you'll remember. What about all the times you lost? This is out of mind. Unpleasant. No? So don't think. So Ishwararpanam Prasada Buddhi is what makes any activity a worship. Any activity. Yeah. Having a child is worship. A lot of Prasada Buddhi you need. Oh my God. A child can turn your life topsy-turvy when the child is born. 2, oh my God, terrible 2s. Terrible 2s? What about 3s and 4s and 5s and 6s? They're all terrible. Teenager don't talk only. After teenager, independent person, oh my God. So I'm sure sometimes the parents wonder, why did I ever go and become a parent? I don't blame them if they thought like that. Lot of Prasada Buddhi and Ishwararpanam. No? Yeah, huge amount of Prasada Buddhi and Ishwararpanam necessary. So any activity is like that. Marriage, definitely Ishwararpanam Prasada Buddhi has to be there. Look at it. What does an arranged marriage start with? In an arranged marriage, what is it that you see? You see all the horoscope, family background, this, all that thing you will see. Matching of prarabdhas you will see. Not matching of personalities happen by lagna. Matching of prarabdhas will happen by the dashas. All this you will see. Okay. That means what? Certain amount of teamwork can be there without much issues. After that, everything is prasada buddhi. No? You have to accept each other. No? Accepting another person in your life, someone who you didn't know from Adam or Eve for that matter, a lot of acceptance, a lot of prasada buddhi is necessary. And a lot of intimacy has to develop. Without their acceptance, how will their intimacy develop? Emotional intimacy I am talking mainly. Physical intimacy is easier to develop. Emotional intimacy. Love marriage, emotional intimacy is there. Teamwork, problematic. Because neither the lagna nor the dashas are matching. So that's problematic. So you have to do a lot of work on that side. Prasada buddhi, Ishwararpanam there also. So a lot of things necessary. Unless you have that attitude, it becomes messy. Become messy. So either way you take it. To make it work, a lot of action is necessary. A lot of proactiveness is necessary. A lot of empathy is necessary. Yeah, Rishikesh, you have a question?
I just wanted to add into the question which Karthik asked, that between Prasad Buddhi, are we allowed to sort of have an emotional burst?
Of course. And accept that also.
I mean, it sort of settles down with due course of time, but some things are really hard to take, right?
Agreed. So if you find something hard to accept the fact it is hard to accept. I find something hard to accept, whatever it is. Can you accept the fact that for you it is hard to accept it? Stop there. Stop there. You have an emotional burst. Accept the fact that you are an emotional burst. Accept the fact that for a relationship it can be damaging. Accept the fact you can make up for it. Accept all the way. It works. Yeah. So Prasada Buddhi is not just one block thing.
Sometimes it's some things are devastating, literally. You have to kind of go back to the design board, do a lot of things till you can accept and get back on feet.
So accept the fact is not worked. Accept the fact that you have to redo everything, redesign the whole thing. That's okay. Cut your losses, walk away, accept it. Today Prasada was Vibhuti. Everything went to ashes. Kuch nahi mila. Yeah, what was the prasada? Vibhuti. Laga do. Or kya? That's it. Yeah. Redo the whole thing. That's where you are being proactive. Acceptance on one side, proactive on the other side. What better way is there to live? Because it is not mere acceptance, it's bringing Ishvara into the picture. So you are making the whole thing sublime. There's a divinity in the whole thing. Otherwise, it's just being professional.
Yeah.
It's something like this. There was a design that had to be made, and there was a donor for it. And the donor requested some changes, small changes, which was acceptable. Okay. So an engineer says, this is unprofessional. Correct. Then I turned around and said, when the bank who's giving you a loan asks you to put 50 conditions on you, do you accept all the conditions? Yeah, that we do. And where you are going to pay back every penny with interest. But still you will accept all the conditions. The donor is giving money free here. You can't accept one or two conditions. You call it unprofessional. What is the problem here? Are you getting the idea? So what is professional? What is unprofessional? What is this? It's all within certain paradigms. Ishwararpanam prasada buddhi. It works right through. Either demands are unreasonable. Sorry, sir. Walk away. Be willing to give up that donation. Can you do that? Yep. Prasada buddhi. Ishwararpanam. Goes all the way. Yeah. Like you think I have not got people who have come and said, Swamiji will give you 10 crores. You make false bills and give us back 8 crores in cash. 2 crores you keep for yourself. You think I'll accept that deal? No way. That goes very much anti-dharma. It is not saying I'll give this thing 10 lakhs as cash or something like that. It is not something simple like that. It is something very huge. Yeah. You are ready to walk away? Yeah. You don't know how much of this happened during COVID time. Not COVID time, sorry. Demonetization.
Monetization.
Yeah. And sometimes they'll ask you, I got a call from Delhi, someone saying, Swamiji, I got 100 crores in cash. What do I do? I said, what were you doing? I said, oh, no, all the thing I just kept. 100 crores. That's a lot of money. I said, surrender to the government. You still have 50 crores clean. Out of that 50 crores clean, 25 crores you get back immediately. 25 crores is in government bonds which you will get after 3 years. But 50 crores are clean. Swamiji, I'm afraid to do it. What if they kept track of me? Yeah, they will. What do you mean, what if? They will. Work on the assumption they will keep track of you. So be careful in the business in the future. At least now, Swamiji, I can't do that. Give me another solution. I said, go to all the mohallas in Delhi and distribute that money among the poor. Let them make their life. It is a very clean-cut offer that whether I can help him to convert it into white. My trust is not big enough, nor will I do it, even if it is big enough. If he had said, give me a cash donation of 10 lakhs something, I would have accepted it. Why? Because we have so many cash expenses which is difficult to put into the auditing format, which is all overboard, above board for us. It's not being blown up. It's being given to people as wages for people who don't even have a bank account. What do you do? So that we don't have issues with. But not converting 100 crores. How? There are ways of doing it. Not that I am not aware of that. There are people who do it. You go to those people. Demonetization time, conversion cost was only 10%. for smaller amounts. 10%, that's it. But they are going too much into the adharma part, Okay, then we move to say, then he makes a comment here again. Shreyan dravya maya yajnat jnana yajna parantapah sarvam karma akhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Very beautiful statement here. Shreyan dravya maya yajnat. From the dravya maya yajna, a worship when you are offering things to the Lord, or a worship of a havan where you are offering the haves, etc. into the fire. Compared to that, jnana yajna shreya. Jnana yajna shreya. And what is jnana yajna? Where you offer ignorance into the fire of knowledge. Gaining knowledge. What we are doing here, jnana yajna it is. In fact, Swami Chinmayanji used this term jnana yajna for all his public talks. He would never call it public talk. He would call it jnana yajna. Gita jnana yajna. That is what he used to call them. Because it's a worship. His study is a worship. There is a worshipful attitude in the study. If the worship is to the form of the Lord, study is worship to what? To the Swarupa of the Lord. There you are understanding the form of Ishvara. Here, it is the real nature of what Ishvara is. Therefore, jnana yajna shreya. Jnana yajna shreya. Why? Sarvartu akhilam karma. Hey Partha, jnane parisamapyate. All the karma that you do, where does it have to find its end? Jnane. Why are you doing all this karma, etc., etc.? I want to go to heaven, I want this, I want that. Why? You want to be a fulfilled person. No? You decided on earth you are not going to be happy. Therefore you are going to go to another. You are asking for a heaven. What if you, after death, you ask the Lord for heaven? I have done so much good thing. Don't I deserve heaven? He says, I gave you a heaven on earth and you messed it up. You want another heaven? So, why do you want it? Because I want to be happy, fulfilled as a person. Therefore, where does you want to discover your ananda? You want to be a fulfilled being. Therefore, jnane parisamapyate. It has its end only in Atma Jnanam, nothing else. You can do any amount of puja part. Finally, what? You will have to come to this knowledge. That's why sometimes I feel sorry for the priests and things like that. No? They do a great job of all the karma, etc. But they will never come to study Vedanta. Very rare. There is one Jagadatmananda in Coimbatore. He was a priest and an astrologer before. Then he came and studied with Swamiji and took sannyasa also. He says, I won't even read horoscopes now. You go to my son. I taught him everything. He will read it for you. Rare to find a priest like that. Because you are broken free from the conditionings. But sarvam tvakhilam karma jnane parisamapyate. It has to have its ending only in knowledge, nothing else. Where else will you get? What are you doing everything for anyway? Money, wealth, pomp and grandeur and this, and if not this lifetime, another lifetime, afterlife. Why are you doing all that? I mean, at the end of it is what? I want to be a happy, fulfilled being. Suppose jnane parisamapyate. Other than this knowledge, you are not going to discover your ananda. Therefore, finally you have to discover ananda. Limitlessness cannot be gained as a result of an action. Because an action is finite in nature, the result will be finite in nature. A series of finite actions will give you a series of finite results, will not end up to being limitless or infinite. Basic simple mathematics. That's all. Therefore, limitlessness is something to be discovered as your own true nature. Atma Swarupa is to be discovered. Short of this discovery, nothing will deliver the goods. The worship that you do is good. The karma that you do is good. Why? It will help you grow as a person. Help you grow. Worldly karmas, religious karma, both are necessary for growth. Why? Because life is meant for growth. Life is not a spectator sport. Life is meant to get involved in, do things. Don't say, Swamiji, I believe in detached involvement. That is another nonsense that has come out. So you'll get into a relationship with your wife in a detached manner. Huh? There's no emotional involvement. What is marriage then, if there's no emotional involvement? It's not a spectator sport. Then, you get involved emotionally, physically, everything with prasada buddhi, acceptance. Ishvara arpanam, acceptance. Marriage is offering to the Lord. Prasada. Other person is like this, prasada. Acceptance. Ishvara anugraha, acceptance. Now I work with what I have, acceptance. That is what makes it work. And if by chance it doesn't work out, there's always a possibility like that. Okay? There are some 8 cases mentioned by Manu himself where a marriage can be broken up. 8 cases, instances. Manu has said it, okay? Where a woman can walk out of a marriage or marry someone else. So if it doesn't work out, again prasada buddhi. Prevent you from being embittered. Makes you a person who will learn and grow from their experience. Yeah. So that's the whole game. All the way. So that karma that you do, worldly, religious, etc., meant for you to grow, get a mind ready for understanding the truth. It takes a special mind to understand the truth and make it a fact of your life. It's not something simple. Alright, I will do what it takes to get the mind ready. How do I gain that knowledge? That also he says in the next verse. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattva darshanaha. Tad vidhi, know the truth. How? Pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Pranipatena, with long prostrations, meaning the sense of surrender. What do you mean surrender? Today's world, surrender, etc. is a bad term. You never surrender to a person. You surrender to a pramana. Surrender is always to a pramana, not to a person. I know everyone here has got great trust and faith in me. But if I were to say, look at the beautiful rabbit in my hand. You see? Nice ears, soft, fluffy rabbit. Hey, anyone going to believe it? अरे इतना भी श्रद्धा नहीं है, इतना साल से आ रहा है. Why? Your pramana, the eyes tell you it's a book. It's not a rabbit. Similarly, your surrender is to the knowledge, to the means of knowledge, the teaching. But the teaching requires an entity to teach, a person to teach. Therefore, it gets extended to the person. So when the person confronts you on something, you learn from it, not get upset by it. Therefore, tadviddhi paripatena pariprashnena. And pariprashnena. Don't swallow everything he says blindly. Question to understand. Question to clarify. Question to learn. Pariprashnena, paritaha prashnena. Question from all angles, all sides, so that you understand well. That's why if you notice, I always start a class which says any clarification necessary. I invite to that. Because it's not a question of belief, it's a question of understanding. There's nothing to be believed here. Knowledge is not about belief. Knowledge is about understanding. Therefore, pariprashnena sevaya. Your seva should be in the form of questions, he says. In fact, Swami Chinmayanji had a rule. When we go to see him, don't come and meet me without having any questions. You are supposed to ask some questions. You want to come and meet me? I have some questions. Okay, so pariprashnena sevaya. Then what? What will happen? Upadekshanti te jnanam te, until you jnanam upadekshanti, this knowledge will be given to you. By whom? Jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Upanishad says Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So Jnaninaha means Shrotriyam, one who is well versed in the methodology of teaching, who has heard it himself, meaning who has been taught. Even gurus have gurus. And the grand gurus also have gurus. Okay. It's a parampara. Because this knowledge has to come from an external source. If somebody says, I am Swayambhu, I don't have a guru, forget him. Shankara says somewhere, Murkhavat Upakshaniyam. As though he is a fool, leave him aside. He may be a great person, but he won't give you what you need. Okay, yeah. Therefore, Jnaninaha, that is Jnanin. Tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshinaha is Brahmanishtam, one who is rooted in the knowledge, who has seen the truth himself, who has validated this knowledge in their lives. Understanding insight is one thing. Then you validate it, you own it up in your own life. Say, yeah, this is true. I know this to be true. This is exact. I have validated it in my understanding. I am validating it in my life. Yeah. Therefore, Tattvadarshinaha, Brahmanishtaha, in other words. Because they are the ones who will deliver the goods. There are three types of teachers, Shrotriyam Brahmanishta is supposed to be the best one. Why? He knows the methodology of teaching and he has validated it in his life. Supposing such a guy is not available, it is difficult to evaluate, but such a guy is not available. Go for a Kshotriya. Why? A Kshotriya cannot go wrong. He knows the methodology of teaching. He has got insights. He is validating it. He is in the process of validating it in his life. So by the time you start validating in your life, he has already validated it. New teachers will be like that. People who have started teaching, the Guru said, okay, you know enough, now start teaching. Those people will be like that. How I was 50 years ago. That's it. 40 years ago. If he is only Tattvadarshina, he can be a great inspiration, but he can't teach you because methodology of teaching is not there with him. He can be a great inspiration. By his presence, he can inspire. Keep him as an inspiration because you can't learn from him because he doesn't have the methodology of teaching is not there. He will point you in the right direction, but he cannot teach you. There have been great saints in this country like that. Tattvadarshina. One word here, two words there, one small thing here and there was enough for them. They were all yoga brashtas. Previous lifetime they had got ready, died before they could gain it. So a little bit exposure here and there was enough for them to know the truth. But they didn't have the Shastra, the methodology, etc. with them in this lifetime because they had not studied it like that, systematically like that. Therefore they can't teach. They can inspire you. They say all the right things, point you in the right direction. Ideal Kshotriya, Brahmanishta or plain Kshotriya. Okay. Only Tattvadarshi, good inspiration. If all the three are not available, pray that you get the right person. Don't go for any Tom, Dick and Harry because three are not available. Any of the three is not available. Why? Because better not to have the teaching than have the wrong teaching, which will put you on another trip. Pray that you get a right Guru. And when the right Guru comes, learn to respond. That's also important. Otherwise, you'll keep praying. As I told an example of my neighbor, Dwara khada ek jogi. But the guy is still praying. Why? He wants the right Guru to come. It's all Ishvara Anugraham only. There also you have to take Ishvara Arpanam Prasada Buddhi. Some of you have followed a wrong teacher for a long time. Prasada Buddhi, you needed that to grow. You needed to know what is wrong before you can recognize what is right. That's all it meant. So it's okay. Don't get embittered and blame somebody. Grow. Yeah. And when you've gone like that, your thirst for knowledge becomes much more. Much, much more. Why? Because you have wasted time with the wrong teachers. You know, hey, this time was wasted. I was going here and there. Now I want the right thing. Your thirst is more, so don't worry. Ishwararpanam, prasada buddhi for everything. It works. Okay. So that is that. Any questions? Okay. There's more of this in the chapter, but that we will see next time. 6 o'clock, good place to stop. Okay. Om Tat Sat.